Let's be real. Fear is something all of us carry. It's like built in. But here's the kicker. What freaks one person out might be no big deal to someone else. Some folks, they fear everything, like life itself is a horror movie. Others, almost fearless, just chilling. But you know what? Not having fear doesn't mean they're reckless. It might actually mean they've got a damn strong soul. Yeah, a soul with an immune system. Sounds weird, but think about it. Emotional resilience is like immunity. These people have been through hell, made peace with chaos, and walked out the other side like, okay, next. They've seen how the world works, that not everything is within our grasp. Some things we hold on to tightly, but some things we gotta let go. Some things are worth the fight, and others just stepping stones, not the destination. These people don't crumble when the ground shakes. They bend, not break. And here's the magic. A person who's not ruled by fear, that person is free. Like, actually free. Deep down inside, they've unlocked some next level awareness. They're not stuck in survival mode. They're living in connection mode. They can show up, open arms, no armor, helping others without worrying about what people will say, what they'll lose, or how they'll look. They're not afraid of being judged, or that their kindness might be misunderstood. Heck, they're not even scared of losing comfort, reputation, or in extreme cases, their own life. Yeah, that's what courage at the highest level looks like. And it's not reserved for saints or superheroes. It's a version of you that's waiting to be born. The Buddha himself said, every one of us has the ability to overcome fear, even the scariest stuff. But here's the catch. You've got to be willing to go inward. Deep. You've got to sit down with your fears, eye to eye. Not once, not twice. Again and again until it loses its grip. Until you see it for what it is, a shadow, not solid, just a trick of the light. The truth is, fear, like greed or anger, isn't permanent. It rises, it fades. Some days it's loud, other days it's quiet, but it's not fixed. Its strength depends on how we treat it. Feed it, it grows. Face it with awareness, it shrinks. So what do? We learn to stay present, catch it early, watch it, study it. And when we do, when we shine the light of awareness on it, it starts to dissolve, like fog in the sun. But there's another, and maybe even more powerful, way to push fear out of the driver's seat. Want to know what it is? Love. Yeah, not the mushy Hollywood kind. I'm talking deep, true, unconditional love. The kind that burns clean through ego. When we really care, like our heart hurts for someone else's suffering, something shifts. We step outside our bubble, and suddenly, fear doesn't have room to breathe. Because here's the thing. Fear is born in a small space, a me-first, self-protective shell. It says, I need to be safe, I need to be comfortable, I need to win. But real love, it lives on a bigger map. It says we are connected. Your pain is my pain, your safety is my safety. The Buddha called this deep sense of unity inner being. It's this idea that we're not isolated, we're threads in the same fabric. What happens to you happens to me. So when I care for you, I'm also caring for myself. Let's get even more real. Maybe you're not at that level yet, the kind of love that melts fear instantly. That's cool, you're human. But the Buddha also gave us another hack. Put yourself in the middle of suffering. I know, sounds heavy, but hear me out. When you're face to face with real struggle, when you see it, hear it, feel it, your heart can't help but respond. You're not just reading a headline or scrolling past a sob story. You're in it. And that direct exposure, it wakes something up. But yeah, not everyone reacts. Some people are so locked in their comfort zones, their heart just doesn't twitch. Decades trapped in the echo chamber of self-protection. It's not their fault, but it is their responsibility to break the cycle. And how do we do that? By standing shoulder to shoulder with people who already cracked the code. The frontliners, the heroes. The everyday bodhisattvas who walk straight into danger with open hearts. When you're around those people, their courage rubs off. Inspiration is contagious, and when you combine three things, deep empathy through direct experience, a widened perspective of connection, inspiration from brave souls. Boom, that's the formula. You'll start to feel your own heart wake up like it's been napping this whole time. Take the pandemic, for example. Remember those first responders, doctors, volunteers, even government workers who didn't ask to be heroes, but became one anyway? They didn't wake up thinking, I want to risk everything today. They had families, dreams, things they loved. But still, they showed up. Why? Because someone had to. If everyone chose safety, who would step into the fire? They chose to lead, to love, to fight. And that meant facing fear head-on without flinching. But even the strongest get tired. They're human. When death tolls rise, when patients pile up, when the system is stretched beyond its limit, they break too. Not because they're weak, because they've given everything. And often what's missing is not courage. It's space to breathe, to reflect, to reconnect. Imagine if those frontliners had a few moments each day to pause, to meditate, to remember, I'm not just serving others, I'm serving my own soul. I'm not just treating a stranger, that could be my aunt, my child, my neighbor. That kind of awareness, that can refuel the fire. And especially for the leaders, the ones calling the shots, bearing the burden of whole cities or hospitals or communities, they need this pause. Because pressure's high. Fear is real. But if they can lead with clarity, grounded in love instead of panic, they'll make decisions that ripple out in the best way possible. And you might not be on the front lines, but that doesn't mean you don't have a role. In fact, your support, emotionally, mentally, practically, matters more than ever. So maybe you're not out there in a hazmat suit or working 18-hour shifts at the ICU, but if you're lucky enough to be safe at home with food, family, Wi-Fi, and a roof over your head, then guess what? You've still got work to do. This is your moment to hold it down. Be the solid ground for others, because fear spreads fast, but calm, that spreads too. Your energy, it's either a lifeline or a leak. And let's not kid ourselves, it's tempting to spiral. The internet is a chaos machine. Doom scrolling all day, clicking on every scary headline, joining random arguments in the comment section. It's mental junk food. And the more you consume it, the more your spirit tanks. Now's not the time to collapse. It's the time to strengthen your mind, your body, your routine. Keep it tight. Eat like you love yourself. Move your body like you want it to last. And for the love of your sanity, sleep. And above all, feed your soul. That means journaling, praying, meditating, dancing, screaming into a pillow, whatever helps you clear out the noise and remember who you are. Meditation, it's not some guru-only incense-burning ritual. It's just being still. Coming home, listening. Even 5 minutes a day can help you realign with the truth. You are connected to every single person fighting out there. When the front lines call, and they will, we gotta be ready. And that might mean donating blood, or sending supplies, or volunteering your time or skills, or sometimes just staying the hell home so you don't make things worse. Let's be honest, we've all got more than we need. Pantry full of ramen? You're good. Still got rice and canned goods? You're golden. No need to panic buy like it's the zombie apocalypse. And even if, worst case scenario, you gotta go minimalist for a while, you'll live. People have fasted for months and come out the other side stronger. Me and over 30 volunteers here, we've practiced living on just brown rice and sesame salt. Not because we had to, but to prove we could. It's actually not bad. Detoxes your body and declutters your mind. And more importantly, it breaks the mental story that you'll die without your favorite snack or your daily bubble tea. You won't. And hey, while we're talking about survival, let's flip the script. Survival isn't just physical, it's spiritual, it's emotional. If you're sitting on resources, whether it's money, food, tech, time, or talent, now is the moment to share. Got extra? Pass it on. Know someone in need? Slide into their DMs. Be the person who checks in, who uplifts, who gives without expecting a damn thing back. Because the truth is, every act of generosity is a middle finger to fear. It says, I trust, I care, I choose love. And the people on the front lines, they feel it. Even if you're miles away, even if you never meet, when the collective energy shifts from every person for themselves to we're all in this, it's like rocket fuel for their spirit. Because they're not machines, they're people. People who've been showing up every day, doing impossible things with limited gear, low rest, and rising pressure. But even the strongest warriors burn out. They're facing the worst. Patients dying before their eyes. Sometimes patients who could have been saved if they had enough ventilators or staff. That kind of pain sticks. It eats away at your morale. And here's the scary part. That's when fear tries to creep back in. They're already physically drained, but now, emotionally, spiritually, they start questioning, can we really do this? What if we're not enough? What if I lose someone I love too? See, they had the first two ingredients, a front row seat to suffering, the influence of brave role models around them, but often they're missing the third and most vital, restoration. Space to breathe, to cry, to reconnect with their deeper why. Imagine if every doctor, every nurse, every responder had even just 15 minutes a day to sit still, breathe deeply, remember their intention, to tap back into the why behind the sacrifice. Not duty, not pressure, but love, real, raw, unfiltered love. They'd remember, I'm not doing this for the community, I am the community. This is personal. Every life I save, that's a win for all of us. And especially for the leaders, the people steering the ship, making high-stakes calls, they need space too. Because with great responsibility comes great stress. Let's not sugarcoat it. They feel the heat, pressure from above, expectations from below, and the crushing weight of knowing one wrong decision could cost lives. It's terrifying. But if they can center themselves, find stillness in the storm, they'll lead not from fear, but from fierce love. And that changes everything. That's why these leaders, these decision makers at the top, need us, not to criticize from the sidelines, but to back them up, to send strength their way, to hold them in our thoughts and our prayers and our daily practices. Because we're all connected, we're all part of this living system. Whether you're in scrubs or pajamas, your energy counts. And if you're lucky enough to be sitting in a safe home, not on the edge of chaos, now's the time to activate. Don't wait for the crisis to knock on your door. Show up now, with steadiness, with kindness, with clarity. Even the smallest act, texting a friend, helping a neighbor, meditating in silence, it matters. It builds the energy we all need to keep going. We're not helpless. We're not stuck. We're part of something bigger. Now here's the big ask. In a time like this, when fear is lurking in every news report, every group chat, every whisper in your head, what if you were the one who didn't flinch? What if, instead of spiraling, you rose? Let's not sugarcoat it. This pandemic, or any crisis really, is brutal. But it's also one giant mirror, showing us exactly who we are and who we could be. More than ever, we need people to step into their light, to say, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm still here. Yeah, it's hard, but I'm still helping. Yeah, I could retreat, but I choose to lead. Not with ego, not for clout, but because the moment demands it. You might not become a headline hero, but you can absolutely be someone's quiet anchor, the one who stays grounded, even when things get chaotic. That's rare, that's powerful, that's needed. Because every wave of fear we break, every piece of calm we create, every act of love we send out, it builds, it spreads, it heals. And trust me, people notice, maybe not out loud, but they feel it. Your kids, your friends, your coworkers, your followers, your community. Everyone picks up on the energy you put out. And when that energy is strong, steady, and rooted in love, you give people permission to rise with you. Let's look back at the folks who have no choice but to show up. The ones holding the line. Doctors, nurses, cleaners, bus drivers, delivery folks, volunteers. These are people who didn't sign up for war, but they're in the trenches anyway, And yeah, some of them didn't have time to prepare their mindset or train for this. They just did it because someone had to. And in that moment, they weren't just workers. They became warriors, modern-day bodhisattvas, silent heroes. But don't get it twisted, they do feel fear. Deep, primal, honest fear. They fear for their lives, they fear for their loved ones, they fear making the wrong move. But you know what pulls them through? Purpose, connection, love that runs deeper than fear. And if you're listening to this right now from the comfort of your home, surrounded by snacks, warmth, and Wi-Fi, then guess what? You've been given an easier path. Your battle is staying strong in peace so they can stay strong in war. And that means doing the little things that ripple into big impact. Cut back on panicked scrolling and fear-mongering content. Turn your feed into a space of encouragement and facts, not chaos and conspiracy. Stay home when needed, not just for you, but for the strangers you'll never meet. Keep your routine solid, not perfect, just steady. Give what you can, money, supplies, skills, or simply a listening ear. And if you've got to practice, meditation, prayer, yoga, art, use it. Every time you center yourself, you radiate stability. That energy, it travels further than you think. You become a beacon, a lighthouse in the storm. And this part is important. Don't wait to be perfect. Don't wait to be fearless. Just start, right now, with one small step. Because the truth, fear never fully goes away. Even the wisest, calmest people feel it. The difference is, they don't obey it. They see it, they nod at it, and then they keep walking. And that's the version of you the world needs. Not some untouchable superhero, just a real one, steady, open-hearted, and ready to serve. In the end, when this chapter is over, and yeah, it will end, you'll look back and ask yourself, how did I show up during that time? Will you be able to say, I stayed present, I stayed kind, I didn't freeze, I moved with purpose? Will you be able to look your future kids, your friends, your inner self in the eye and say, I did my part. I didn't let fear define me. Because that's legacy. You don't need to go viral. You don't need to be in the news. But you can be a legend in your own life, in your own way. This moment right now is a call. Not for panic, but for power. So whatever you're doing, wherever you are, give yourself this opportunity to rise, to shine, to show what you're made of. Not for applause, but because it's who you really are. When the noise fades, when fear steps aside, when the truth gets loud. And yeah, you might mess up, you might fall apart some days, that's human. But don't stay down. Rest, regroup, come back stronger. And when this is all said and done, we will come out the other side, together. Because you, me, the frontliners, the stay-at-homers, the supporters, the fighters, we're all in this thing. Connected, powerful, necessary. And if we choose love over fear, service over self, truth over panic, then yeah, we'll get through this. And not just survive, but evolve, rise, transcend. Because when the world asks who will show up, you'll say, I did. Thank you for listening. Stay grounded, stay loving, stay human.